The Galactic Council met in their big meeting room. It was a beautiful dome made of crystal, floating in space between the stars. The room glowed with soft blue light as hundreds of alien leaders took their seats. Ambassador Zixanari of the Veltron people walked to the center of the room. His blue skin shimmered under the lights. The 4 tentacles on his face twitched nervously as he looked around at the council members. "Thank you for letting me speak today," Zixanari said, his voice low and urgent. "I come with an important warning about the humans." On the other side of the galaxy, Commander Jake Miller sat in the control room of the human ship Horizon. The ship was hidden behind the moon of a gas giant, far enough away that the council couldn't detect it. Jake was a tall man with short gray hair and deep wrinkles around his eyes from years of service. "Are we getting the council feed?" Jake asked, leaning forward in his chair. Lieutenant Emma Davis nodded. She was younger, with dark skin and sharp eyes that missed nothing. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel. "Yes, sir. The secret channel is working perfectly. They have no idea we're listening," Emma said. Back in the council chamber, the alien leaders whispered among themselves. Some looked worried, others angry. "The humans must not be provoked," Zixanari continued, raising his voice to be heard over the noise. "My people met them first 3 Earth years ago. We learned about what they can do. They look simple, but they are not." Council Chairman Mordek floated forward. He was a being of pure energy, shaped like a human but glowing bright orange. His voice boomed through the chamber. "Ambassador Zixanari, the council has heard enough about these humans," Mordek said. "Our scouts report they have basic space travel, and only 1 colony outside their home system. They are no threat to our 1,000 worlds." On the horizon, Jake frowned. "They're underestimating us again, Emma." "That might be good for now, sir," Emma replied, making notes on her tablet. Ambassador Lisa Chen sat quietly in the visitor section of the council chamber. As the only human allowed to attend, she kept her face calm while she listened. Lisa was small but strong, with short black hair and steady hands that never shook even when she was angry. She wrote everything down in a small notebook, the old-fashioned way. Zixanari spread his arms wide, his skin changing from blue to purple with emotion. "You don't understand what makes humans different. We did friendly fighting exercises with them. They lost the first time, as expected. But the second time, they changed their plans completely. The third time, they beat our best warriors using our own moves against us." Jake smiled as he watched the feed. "He's talking about the joint training we did last year." "When Captain Bell figured out how to use their own fighting style?" Emma asked. Jake nodded. "Exactly. The Veltrans thought it would take us years to learn their techniques. It took us 3 days." The Craxan delegates stood up. In the council chamber, the Craxans were 7 feet tall with metal-like skin and sharp edges everywhere. When the delegate laughed, it sounded like knives being sharpened. "The mighty Veltrons afraid of soft pink creatures?" the Craxan mocked. "Perhaps you have grown weak from too much peace." Zixanari's tentacles curled in anger. "The humans look weak, but they are not. They adapt faster than any species we've ever seen. They think differently. They solve problems in ways we can't imagine." "Enough," Mordek shouted. "We will now vote on the matter of human expansion. The proposal is to establish a blockade around human space until they agree to council control." Lisa Chen's eyes widened slightly, but she kept writing calmly. She had expected this, but not so soon. On the horizon, Captain John Rodriguez entered the control room. He was broad-shouldered with a serious face and kind eyes. He had been the captain of the Horizon for 5 years. "What did I miss?" he asked. "Jake." "They're voting on a blockade, sir," Jake replied. Captain Rodriguez sighed. "The president won't be happy about this." The council members raised their hands or tentacles or light beams, depending on their species. The vote wasn't even close. "The motion passes," Mordek announced. "The blockade will begin immediately. All ships will report to their assigned positions within 3 days." Zixanari looked around the room in despair. "You're making a terrible mistake," he said quietly. "The humans will not accept this. And when they fight back, you will understand my warning too late." The Craxan delegate snorted. What can they do against our fleet? They have less than 50 warships. As the council meeting ended, Lisa Chen slipped away quietly. She had an urgent message to send to Earth. On the horizon, Captain Rodriguez turned to his officers. Set course for home. Maximum speed. We need to warn Earth about what's coming. Jake nodded grimly. Yes, sir. Do you think Earth will fight, Captain? Rodriguez looked at the stars on the view screen. I don't know, but I do know one thing. The Council has no idea what humans are really capable of. Emma checked the engines. Ready for jump, sir? Let's go home, the captain said. Earth needs to prepare. The horizon disappeared into faster-than-light travel, leaving no trace behind. In the council chamber, the alien leaders made their plans, confident in their power, unaware that they had just made the biggest mistake in galactic history. 3 weeks after the council meeting, Admiral Karen White stood on the bridge of her ship, the Resolute. She was a tall woman with short gray hair and eyes that had seen too many battles. The ship was the biggest in Earth's fleet, but it still felt small compared to what they were facing. Show me the alien ships again, she ordered. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Brooks nodded. He was younger than the Admiral, with dark skin and quick hands. He touched the control panel, and a big screen lit up showing hundreds of alien ships. 400 ships, Admiral, Brooks said. They're forming a blockade around our outer colonies. They're stopping any ship from going in or out. Admiral White frowned. And what about New Eden colony? Do they still need those medical supplies? Yes, ma'am. The sickness is getting worse. They have 20 children in critical condition now. The Admiral tapped her fingers on the arm of her chair, thinking. Earth had received the warning from Captain Rodriguez 3 weeks ago. Since then, they had tried to talk with the Council, but the aliens wouldn't listen. Far away, near the colony of New Eden, Captain Alex Turner guided his ship through space. The Liberty was a cargo ship, not a warship. It carried food, medicines, and supplies to the colonies. Captain Turner was a big man with a beard and gentle hands. He had been delivering supplies to colonies for 15 years. Captain, we have a problem, said his pilot, a young woman named Olivia Grant. There's an alien ship blocking our path. Captain, Turner looked at the screen. A huge ship with sharp metal-like edges waited directly in their path. It was 5 times bigger than the Liberty. Open a channel, Turner said. Let's try to talk to them. The screen changed to show an alien face. The Kraxan commander had no hair and skin that looked like metal. His eyes glowed red. Humans, you will submit to Council authority. Your expansion ends here, the Kraxan commander said, his voice harsh and cold. Captain Turner kept his voice calm. This is Captain Turner of the cargo ship Liberty. We're carrying medical supplies to New Eden Colony. There are sick children who need these medicines. Please let us pass. Irrelevant. Turn back or be destroyed. Turner's hands tightened on his chair. Those children will die without these medicines. That is not our concern, the Kraxan replied. The Council has decided. Humans must stay within their borders. Back on the Resolute, Admiral White watched the exchange on her screen. Her face grew hard. Open a channel to the alien fleet, she ordered. I want to speak to whoever is in charge. A moment later, a new alien appeared on the screen. This one had 6 arms and green scales. His uniform was covered in medals and symbols. This is Supreme Commander Krell of the Galactic Council Defense Force, the alien said. State your purpose, human. Admiral White stood straight. This is Admiral Karen White of the United Earth Defense Fleet. We seek peaceful coexistence. Our cargo ships carry only supplies for our colonies. Please allow them to pass. Krell's mouth twisted in what might have been a smile. Humanity will learn its place. Your ships will remain within your home system. Your colonies will join the Council or be abandoned. Our colonists are citizens of Earth, Admiral White said firmly. We will not abandon them. Then you will watch them suffer, Krell replied, and cut the communication. Dr. Stephen Park, the fleet's chief scientist, had been watching from the side of the bridge. He was a quiet man with glasses and quick eyes that noticed everything. He stepped forward. Admiral, I've been analyzing their technology, he said. Their shields are impressive, but I'm detecting some interesting harmonics we could exploit. If we adjust our weapons to— Not yet, Doctor, Admiral White interrupted. We're still trying diplomacy. For hours, the human ships faced the alien blockade. Neither side fired, but neither side moved either. The Liberty waited at the edge of the blockade, its medical supplies getting no closer to the sick children. Then a new message came in. Admiral White listened, her face growing pale. What is it? Brooks asked. The colony on Hephaestus is in danger, she said. A solar flare hit their main power systems. Their orbital habitat is losing life support. They have 6 hours before the air runs out. Captain Maria Gonzalez of the rescue ship Phoenix received her orders immediately. The Phoenix was built for emergencies, with special equipment for space rescues. Captain Gonzalez was small and quick, with determined eyes and steady hands. She had saved over 100 lives in space accidents. Maximum speed to Hephaestus, she ordered her crew. 2,000 people need our help. The Phoenix was fast, but to reach Hephaestus it had to pass through the blockade. As they approached, Gonzalez opened a channel to the nearest alien ship. This is Captain Gonzalez of the rescue ship Phoenix, she said. We have an emergency. The Hephaestus colony is losing life support. 2,000 colonists will die without our help. Please let us through. The Kraxan commander appeared on screen again. No exceptions. Return to Earth space. Gonzalez leaned forward. Did you hear me? People will die. That is not our concern, the Kraxan repeated. Captain Gonzalez looked at her pilot. Maybe if we try to go around them? I can try, Captain, the pilot said. The Phoenix changed course, trying to find a gap in the blockade, but the alien ships moved to block them. Then, without warning, one of the Kraxan ships fired a weapon. The energy beam missed the Phoenix by only a few hundred feet. That was a warning shot, the Kraxan commander said. The next one will not miss. Captain Gonzalez's hands tightened into fists. We have to help those people. If we're destroyed, we can't help anyone, her first officer said gently. With a heavy heart, Captain Gonzalez ordered the Phoenix to turn back. As they retreated, she sent a message to Admiral White. They won't let us through, she reported. The Kraxan fired a warning shot. 2,000 people on Hephaestus have less than 6 hours left. On the Resolute, Admiral White's face turned to stone. She touched a button on her chair. Get me the president, she said. Now. In the White House on Earth, President Charles Anderson sat at a long table with his top military advisors. He was an older man with white hair and tired eyes, but his back was straight and his voice was strong. The emergency meeting room was underground, protected from any attack. Tell me again about Hephaestus colony, the president said. General Patricia Lee stood up. She was tall with short black hair and a face that rarely showed emotion. She pointed to a screen on the wall showing a space station orbiting a red planet. The solar flare damaged their main power systems, she explained. Their backup systems are working, but those will only last about 5 more hours. After that, life support will fail. 2,000 colonists will die without help. And the aliens won't let our rescue ships through? The president asked. No, sir. They fired warning shots at the Phoenix when Captain Gonzalez tried to pass the ER blockade. They've made it clear they don't care if our people die. The president turned to a man sitting quietly at the end of the table. Secretary Cooper, what are our options? Defense Secretary James Cooper opened a folder in front of him. He was older than the others, with gray beard and calm eyes that had seen many battles. Sir, I believe it's time to use Protocol 7. Everyone in the room went silent. Protocol 7 was top secret. Only a few people in the room even knew what it was. The president's face was serious. Are you sure? Once we reveal what we can do, everything changes. Secretary Cooper nodded. These aliens have shown they don't value human lives. They think we're weak. Perhaps it's time to show them why the Veltrans warned them about us. The president thought for a moment, then nodded. Very well. Activate Protocol 7. General, Lee picked up a secure phone and spoke quietly. "This is General Lee. Authorization code Blake Echo 79. Activate Protocol 7. Full deployment." Across human space, hidden things began to move. Deep inside asteroids, behind moons, and in secret places throughout the solar system, doors slowly opened. Ships that no alien had ever seen moved out of their hiding places. These were not the simple ships the Council knew about. These were something else entirely. On the Resolute, Admiral White received new orders on her private screen. As she read, her eyes widened. "Lieutenant Kim, come here, please," she called. Lieutenant Daniel Kim walked quickly to her side. He was young, but already known for his skill with computers and communications. "Yes, Admiral?" "I need you to coordinate the deployment of Ghost Fleet," she said quietly. "Full stealth protocol." Lieutenant Kim's eyes widened, but he kept his voice steady. "Yes, ma'am. All units?" "All of them," she confirmed. "And Daniel, no one outside this bridge can know yet." "Understood, Admiral." Lieutenant Kim went to a special control station that had never been used before. He typed in a series of codes, then spoke softly into his headset. "Ghost Fleet acknowledging your command. All stealth ships report ready." The alien blockade saw nothing unusual. Their sensors showed the same human ships, still waiting, still not attacking. The Kraxan commander laughed as he watched the humans doing nothing. But behind the alien ships, hidden by technology the Council did not have, Captain Sarah Johnson guided her ship into position. The stealth destroyer Phantom was invisible to all known sensors. It had never been used in battle before today. "Position achieved," she reported, quietly. "Ready on your command, Admiral." All across space, more ships like the Phantom moved silently into place. The Ghost Fleet, 2,000 ships that officially did not exist, surrounded the alien blockade, and still the aliens saw nothing. On the colony of Hephaestus, people were beginning to panic. The air was getting thin. Children were crying. Colony leader Greg Mason tried to keep everyone calm, but time was running out. "The rescue ships will come," he told his people. "Earth won't abandon us." But privately, he looked at his watch and wondered if he was lying. At the Galactic Council headquarters, Ambassador Lisa Chen made one last attempt to reason with them. She stood before the Council, her face calm, but her eyes intense. "Council, Chairman Mordek, I urge you to reconsider," she said. "Let our rescue ships through. Let us save our people. Humanity desires peace, but we will protect our own." Mordek's energy form glowed brighter with anger. "Your threats are meaningless, Ambassador. The Council has decided. Humans must learn to submit to our authority." "This is your final answer?" Lisa asked quietly. "It is," Mordek replied. Lisa nodded slowly. "Then what happens next is your responsibility." She touched a small device on her wrist. "Chen to Admiral White. They refuse. Implement Protocol 7. Far away on the planet Veltron Prime, Ambassador Zixanari watched the situation on a special screen. His aide, Kexmar, stood beside him. Kexmar was younger, his skin a lighter blue, his tentacles still learning the complex movements of adult communication. "The Council doesn't understand what they've done," Zixanari said sadly. Kexmar looked confused. "But the humans have so few ships. How can they fight the Council fleet?" Zixanari pointed to their special sensors, technology that was more advanced than even the Council knew. "Look at these energy readings." Kexmar studied the screen, then gasped. "But that's impossible. These readings show hundreds of ships where the Council sensors show nothing." "The humans," Zixanari said quietly. "They're moving forces we cannot see. The Council has no idea what approaches them." On the Resolute, Admiral White gave the order everyone had been waiting for. "Begin Phase 1, she said. "Save Hephaestus." Lieutenant Kim relayed the order. "Ghost Fleet Command, initiate Phase 1, authorization White Sierra 7. In orbit around Hephaestus, something amazing happened. The entire space station, with all 2,000 colonists inside, simply disappeared. The alien ships monitoring the colony reported in confusion. "The habitat is gone," a Kraxan officer reported to his commander. "It just vanished." 3 minutes later, The habitat appeared in orbit around Earth, completely intact. Inside, the colonists looked around in confusion. One moment they had been dying, the next they were safe. Colony leader Greg Mason stared out the window at Earth below them. "How is this possible?" he whispered. Back at the blockade, Supreme Commander Krell received the news with disbelief. "What do you mean the colony is gone?" he demanded. Admiral White opened a communication channel to all alien ships. "This is Admiral White," she said, her voice calm and confident. "We gave you every opportunity to be reasonable. Now you'll learn why the Veltrans warned you not to provoke humans." Commander Krell laughed. "Your threats are—" His words stopped as his sensors suddenly showed new readings. All around his fleet, human ships were appearing. More ships than the Council thought humans had. And these ships didn't look like the simple vessels they had seen before. These ships were built for war. Commander Krell stared at his screen in disbelief. Where there had been empty space moments before, now there were human ships everywhere. His second-in-command, a Gorvak like himself but with fewer medals, looked just as shocked. "How is this possible?" Krell demanded. "Where did these ships come from?" "They were there all along, Commander," a communication officer reported. "Our sensors couldn't detect them." The human ships were unlike anything the Council had seen before. They didn't look like normal spaceships. Some seemed to shimmer in and out of view. Others appeared to be partly transparent, as if they weren't fully in this reality. On the Kraxon flagship, the commander slammed his metal-like fist on his control panel. "This is a trick! Attack the human vessels!" Across the alien blockade, weapons powered up. Missile launchers prepared to fire. Energy cannons took aim at the human ships. But on board the human stealth destroyer Phantom, Captain Sarah Johnson remained calm. She was a woman with short red hair and steady hands that never shook, even in battle. Her weapons officer, Lieutenant Michelle Brown, waited for orders. Michelle was younger, with dark skin and quick eyes that missed nothing. "Target the Kraxon flagship's engines, Lieutenant," Captain Johnson ordered. "Precision strike only." "Yes, Captain," Michelle replied, firing dimensional disruptors. From the outside, the weapon looked like a simple beam of blue light. It hit the Kraxon ship's engines with perfect accuracy. But then, something strange happened. The engines didn't explode, they didn't break apart. They simply disappeared. One moment they were there, the next they were gone, leaving a perfect, clean gap in the ship where the engines had been. The Kraxon ship began to drift, powerless. On the Resolute, Admiral White watched as her fleet deployed their advanced technology for the first time in real battle. Dr. Amanda Price stood beside her. Dr. Price was a woman with glasses and gray-streaked brown hair pulled back in a tight bun. She watched the sensor readings with intense interest. "The phase variance weapons are working perfectly," Dr. Price reported. "The aliens are trying to adapt their shields, but they don't understand the principles behind our technology." All across space, the human ghost fleet took action. But they didn't attack like the aliens expected. There were no massive explosions, no destroyed ships, no dead alien crews. Instead, the humans used their advanced technology in a different way. Captain Robert Taylor commanded the Wraith, another of the ghost ships. He was an older man with a scar across his cheek and kind eyes that had seen too much war. His ship moved silently behind an alien cruiser. "Deploy the energy siphons," he ordered. His crew activated a special device. Soft purple light surrounded the alien ship. Suddenly all its weapons stopped working. Its shields failed. Even its communications went silent. "Their energy systems are neutralized, Captain," his engineer reported. "The ship is helpless, but the crew is unharmed." Captain Taylor nodded. "Good. Move to the next target." One by one, the human ships disabled the alien fleet. Some used energy siphons to drain power. Others used dimensional disruptors to remove weapon systems without harming the ships. Some used special devices that scrambled the aliens' computers, making it impossible for them to target the human vessels. Admiral White sent a message to all human ships. Disable only, no casualties. On a Kraxon battleship, The alien crew panicked, as human soldiers suddenly appeared on their bridge. The humans hadn't docked or broken through the hull. They had simply appeared, stepping through what looked like holes in the air. Colonel Jennifer Adams led the human boarding party. She was tall and strong, with short blonde hair and a face that showed no fear. Her squad carried strange weapons that didn't look lethal. "Stand down," she ordered the aliens. "We're not here to hurt you, we're here to make a point." The Kraxan captain, his metal-like skin dull with fear, looked at the humans in disbelief. "How did you get on my ship? Our shields were active." "Colonel," Adams smiled slightly, "your shields only work in normal space. We didn't travel through normal space to get here." Back at the Galactic Council headquarters, chaos had broken out. Reports were coming in from all across the blockade. Human ships appearing from nowhere. Alien weapons and engines mysteriously vanishing. Human soldiers boarding ships by walking through the very fabric of space itself. "This is impossible," Council Chairman Mordek shouted, his energy form flickering with agitation. "No species has this kind of technology." Ambassador Lisa Chen sat quietly, watching the council members panic. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm. "We tried to tell you," she said simply. Ambassador Zixnari, who had been watching from the visitors' gallery, moved to the center of the room. The council members fell silent, remembering his warning. "I tried to explain," Zixnari said. "Humans are different. They don't think like other species. When they face a problem, they don't just look for a solution. They look for 10 solutions, then find ways to combine them into something new. But these technologies," a council member whispered, "some of them should be impossible." "To you, perhaps," Zixnari replied, "but humans don't accept impossible. They just haven't found the answer yet." Within 6 hours, the entire alien blockade had been neutralized. Not a single ship had been destroyed. Not a single alien had been killed. But every ship was completely disabled, unable to move, fight, or even call for help. Admiral White looked at the reports coming in from across the battlefield. All alien ships disabled, no casualties on either side. She turned to Lieutenant Kim. "Open a channel to every ship in the alien fleet." When the channel was open, Admiral White spoke clearly and calmly. "This is Admiral Karen White of Earth. Your ships have been disabled, but your crews are unharmed. We could have destroyed your fleet, but that is not our way. We only want peace and the freedom to protect our own people." Supreme Commander Krell, watching from his powerless flagship, could hardly believe what had happened. His mighty fleet, the pride of the Council, had been defeated in hours without firing a single effective shot. "How?" he asked quietly. "How did you do this?" Admiral White's voice was firm. "That's what we're going to discuss at the peace negotiations. A human diplomatic ship will arrive shortly to collect you and the other commanders. The Galactic Council needs to understand who they're dealing with." As the human fleet secured the disabled alien ships, Dr. Price approached Admiral White on the bridge of the Resolute. "Admiral, the aliens are scanning our ships, trying to understand our technology." Admiral White smiled slightly. "Let them look. Without the key pieces of the puzzle, they won't figure it out." "And those key pieces?" Dr. Price asked. "Are safe? With our friends," the Admiral replied, looking at a small image on her screen. The blue face of Ambassador Zixnari. "The friends who warned the Council not to provoke us." 1 week after the battle, the Galactic Council met again. The mood was very different this time. The Grand Hall was quiet. Many council members couldn't meet each other's eyes. They had been so sure of their power, and now everything had changed. Admiral Karen White entered the chamber, walking with confident steps. Captain George Thompson and Commander Ashley Martin walked behind her. The human delegation wore simple blue uniforms without many decorations, but they stood tall and proud. Chairman Mordek's energy form seemed dimmer than before, flickering with uncertainty. "Admiral White, the Council recognizes Earth's impressive display of power. We wish to discuss terms." Admiral White nodded. "Earth is ready to talk peace, but first, there's something you should understand." She nodded to a side door, and Ambassador Zixnari entered. With him came Dr. Kevin Lee, Earth's lead scientist. Dr. Lee was an older man with a friendly face and kind eyes behind simple glasses. 20 years ago, Admiral White explained, the Veltrans found one of our early exploration ships. Instead of reporting us to the Council, they reached out in friendship. Mordek's energy field pulsed with surprise. Is this true, Ambassador Zixnari? The blue-skinned alien nodded. It is. We saw something special in humans, a creativity we had never seen before. We decided to learn from them, not control them. Dr. Lee stepped forward. The Veltrans shared their scientific knowledge with us. In return, we shared our way of thinking, our gift for solving problems in new ways. Around the council chamber, understanding dawned. One council member, a tall, insect-like being, clicked its mandibles. So that's how humans developed such advanced technology so quickly. It was a partnership. Yes, Admiral White confirmed, a partnership based on respect and friendship, not control and domination. Chairman Mordek's form pulsed faster. But why didn't the Veltrans share these technologies with the Council? Zixnari's tentacles moved in a gesture of sadness. Would you have used them wisely? Your first instinct when meeting humans was to blockade them, to force them to submit. The Veltrans chose a different path. President Charles Anderson appeared, on a large screen above the chamber. His face was serious but not angry. People of the Galactic Council, he said. Earth offers peace and friendship to all species. We want to share knowledge, to learn and grow together. But we will not be controlled, and we will always protect our people. One by one, council members began to speak. Many apologized for the blockade. Others asked questions about human technology. Some requested alliances with Earth. The Kraxan, who had been most eager for the blockade, were among the first to seek friendship. Over the next few months, a new order emerged in the galaxy. The old council was reformed, with Earth and the Veltrans as full members. Human ships began visiting alien worlds not to conquer, but to trade and learn. 1 year later, Captain Ellen Murphy stood on the bridge of a new ship, the Harmony. It was the first ship built together by humans and Veltrans, combining the best technologies of both species. Captain Murphy was a woman with long brown hair and bright eyes that saw possibilities everywhere. Her crew was mixed, half human, half Veltran. Course set for the Andromeda Galaxy, her navigator reported. This will be the farthest any council ship has ever traveled. Captain Murphy smiled. Let's make history then. As the Harmony prepared to jump farther than any ship had gone before, news traveled through the galaxy about the humans and their strange ways, how they fought without killing, how they offered friendship after winning a battle, how they shared knowledge instead of hoarding it. On 100 worlds, people told the story of the day the Council learned an important lesson. Never provoke those who offer friendship freely, for they guard their loved ones with powers beyond comprehension. And on Earth, children learned a lesson too, that the strongest weapon wasn't a gun or a ship or even a dimensional disruptor. It was the ability to turn enemies into friends. As the years passed, humans continued their journey among the stars, always exploring, always learning, always ready to offer a hand in friendship, and always ready to show extraordinary power if that hand was slapped away. The galaxy never forgot the warning that went unheeded. Don't provoke the humans. And they never made that mistake again.